Of course the Scythe is going to be the first weapon of the new Bad Seed showcase runs. Ever since it was first revealed, I think people have been more hyped up for this than, well, just about anything else in the DLC. And I can understand why, because it's pretty special in the way that it's not just one weapon, but two weapons. The left Scythe Claw and the right Scythe Claw. The left Scythe Claw has about half as much DPS as its brother, but attacks a little bit faster and attacks all around you. The right Scythe Claw has double the DPS, but is slower and only hits immediately in front of you. Now, about half the screen immediately in front of you, but slower is something of a problem. Yeah, this weapon is powerful, it's very stylish, very cool, but it does have some pretty obvious drawbacks just right off the bat. I mean, first off, it is slow. Very slow. You can really feel the heft behind this thing as soon as you even just look at it, much less using it. And it does take up 2 slots, kind of limiting the amount of build options that you have for your run. So despite the fact that it has amazing, amazing DPS, DPS isn't everything. And I do really like this, but it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of stacks up in a 5-cell run when I might have trouble just even hitting enemies without taking too much melees by itself. Trying it out a little bit in... I'm like, look at that damage alone. Trying it out a little bit in stream, it seems like the way that you want to go about using this is trying to get some sort of freezing to make sure that enemies are vulnerable to your attack. But aside from that, it seems like the most DPS that you're going to be getting out of this is just really positioning yourself well and then trying to have enemies walk into your attacks as opposed to coming to them to attack them. So, I don't know. It's, like I said, very cool weapon. Seems like it might not be very beginner friendly. However, once you start to actually get the proper criticals off, you know, get in a position where you can hit enemies consistently without getting completely wrecked yourself, it does seem like this might have some of the highest DPS in the entire game. So, very interested in seeing how it's going to go over time. So you get this weapon from the boss that was introduced in the new DLC, and of course, as I am wearing its outfit right now, I am going to be checking that out. The only thing is, man, oh man, I do not know if I'm going to be able to do that DLC all that well right now. This is still the very first day that it's been out, and I've only had so much practice against some of the, let's just say, very projectile-friendly dudes that you'll find in there. Which, if there is one thing that this weapon is going to be very well countered by, it's dudes shooting at you from a distance. And also dudes that run away, which we'll be seeing in the second new biome quite a bit. So this might actually be a showcase not only that I have to do multiple times, but also one where I may end up doing a little bit of post-commentary, at least for the middle section. Don't be surprised if I suddenly, you know, am 4 potion charges down before even getting to the first boss, and I'm like, if I die here, you might see a little bit of better gameplay, but also less reactions to what's happening right now. That said, getting ice armor right off the bat, getting the cannot be interrupted by enemy attack for the claw, and getting this great wolf trap. I mean, look at that, 100% on a poison target, generates toxic cloud, and even the claw that I have right now is doing poisons the enemy. This might be a little bit better than I'm expecting, because stuff like the wolf trap will take care of some of the more troublesome enemies by... See, it hits that far above you. By hitting yeah, the wolf trap might take care of some of the more troublesome enemies by locking them in place and getting them to be, very much heavily poisoned. And bosses, I mean, come on. I said before that it's like, I think that the critical is comparable to the sort of DPS that you're getting off of the Giant Killer, but I think that on the right Scythe Claw, that DPS is comparable to the Cursed Sword by itself, the highest DPS item in the entire game. The only thing is that, of course, what does DPS mean when you can only even attack so many times without getting hit yourself? I don't know. This is going to be, like I said, this is going to be a rough run. And I don't know, like, there's so many good things. There's so much good stuff. There's so many drawbacks. But as it is, because the DLC is new and everything, I can't just take a safe route. Oh sure, would this be good against the concierge? You bet. This would be amazing, because that dude is so slow and so vulnerable to like some real heavy attacks. And unlike most melee weapons, you're not going to be in range of his gigantic damage field that he'll throw up pretty commonly. Well, right now I got 60 kills, and I haven't even gotten into the next area. Yes, he would be very vulnerable to this, a melee weapon of all things, just because you can hit so far in front of you. But come on, I gotta go for the new stuff. Even if it might end up getting me killed. 50% extra damage, but does it really matter when I'm getting this cool poison synergy and everything? I think it matters enough. I'm gonna end up taking it just because I'm not worried about making this a damage over time build. The DPS that you get on this alone. I'm just started the game and the right Scythe Claw is doing 20,000 DPS. That's amazing. Well, 20,000 DPS when I can get it. And sure, I actually like that a lot. Yeah, it's just... I don't know. I'm talking this up, but I'm also very hesitant about really saying that this is going to be like any sort of amazing overpowered weapon or anything like that. Also, something that I didn't point out in the stream, there's a gigantic skull in the background. I guess maybe the giant isn't the only enormous skeleton out around here. Might be more dudes. It might be that giant skeletons are kind of a common... Are you kidding me? I just started, man. Might be that giant skeletons are more commonplace in this world than you might think. Because one of my initial theories on the game was the idea that the giant could have easily been accused of being the source of the malaise because he's a gigantic skeleton, and if dudes are coming back to life after being dead, I mean, who else are you going to blame for that? Oh, yeah, I couldn't even get that hit off before I got hit by a rock there. Oh, but who knows? Who knows? Guess it surprises me just how huge this island is supposed to be sometimes. Anything real amazing? I mean, the critical hit plus 30% damage is slightly better than 20% that I got right now, but I also have 20% damage even on top of everything else that I have, so I'm doing just fine. Yeah, what I've learned going through the Arboretum a little bit more off screen is that you really want to make sure you're paying attention to the yeeters, because they will end up... Because unlike bombers, they're a little bit faster, and they are also going to hit you with just throwing their projectile, as opposed to bombers, which have to have it explode first. Of course, as long as I'm kind of paying attention. Oh, and also make sure that you don't stay in melee range of them, or if you are going to do that, you're already starting to attack, because they are very quick at punching you, too. Those guys are going to be rough in higher cell difficulty, but working with a very heavy survival run right now, I don't think it's going to be too bad to... You're going to throw something at me. Just do it. I don't think they're going to be too bad as long as you're kind of paying attention. Besides, the other thing I can do is... almost got me there. Besides, the other thing I can do is just throw on my ice armor. Do gotta remember that I have that. Thornies are annoying, spikers are annoying, but I mean, the great thing about this weapon is if I'm taking out the right Scythe Claw, I am probably going to one-shot them pretty trivially, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal. No, the real thing that I'm worried about more than anything else is... almost got me there. Real thing I'm worried about more than anything else is when we're getting into the second new area, just because that is... very, yeah, I said before, very, yeah, almost got me. Projectile user friendly, and that's going to be the perfect counter to a projectile and retreat friendly, which is going to be the perfect counter to, come on now, to this type of weapon, even though it is looking real good right now. I mean, one of the things about the DLC is that it is also very early in the game. As soon as I stop one-shotting every single enemy I come with, just by using the left Scythe Claw alone, the tune might be changing on just how good it's... It has that much range that I was able to hit that Thorny, and I wasn't anywhere near it. That's amazing, but it's also a little bit dangerous. I mean, thankfully you don't see too many Thornies in the game. They're pretty uncommon, but definitely got to pay attention to them. I mean, you know how it is. Survival weapons are always kind of a high skill ceiling type of thing to use just because of the fact that they are so slow. And this one is even slower than most. Usually I don't really think too much about the cannot be interrupted by enemy attack type of affix that was introduced a while back on any one of the survival weapons. But I do think that for this one, you're definitely going to get a lot more use out of it, just because, you know, making sure, being able to tank your way through stuff, whether it's with ice armor, whether it's through just, you know, exploiting necromancy for all it's worth alone, that's going to be great. And then not getting interrupted by enemy attacks. So you can just swing wildly and still manage to just cleave a path. Well, literally mow down your enemies. Actually did look that up before doing this run here. Why? I don't know. For fun. That apparently the act of using a scythe is called mowing. So, yeah, there's your fun fact for the day. Also looked it up because I wanted to see, like, war scythes. They're like actual, you know, battle ready war scythes. Oh, okay, good. Because I killed the yeeter before he finished throwing that enemy. I knew it. Okay then. Before I killed that yeeter before he finished throwing that enemy, I actually managed to prevent him from spawning another dude there. You know, I was saying be careful, and yet it's still so hard to deny my rush down nature. But yeah, I was saying, I looked up scythes because I'm like, you know, I'm pretty sure that any, like, actual wartime scythe that I've ever seen did not look like this. It had more of a style where it was sort of like a pointed blade, like a pole arm or something. And that doesn't seem to be the case, but apparently there were a number of scythes used, like, pretty much any time that, you know, like farmers or the like would go into war because, well, you can't really afford much of anything else. I don't know, it strikes me as maybe not like the best weapon because if you... Did I still get hit by that anyway? Because, you know, if you get this, like, stuck in a dude's side, I don't think you're going to be able to get this out too easily. Take him down. Well, it's not looking amazing for my malaise right now. However, I mean, I was planning to do this from the very start. If I go and take Alienation, I should be able to at least get rid of most of the malaise and everything like that. I mean, there was good reason why I decided, hey, the first mutation I'm going to be taking is Dead Inside. I want those extra malaise counters because going into the prison depths, I'll still be able to hit up the new areas, while also... No, I hate that I can go invincible like that. I'm going to be able to hit up the new area while also making sure that I at least have one cursed chest available for me. You know, it's funny because compared to most runs, I think I'm probably actually going to be okay against the new boss because it is one that stays still pretty well. If I was going up against, like, the concierge I was saying before, probably would be okay. If I was going up against the... Don't hit me into the spikes. If I was going up against the Conjunctivius? Oh, there was... Oh, God, the combo. What an amazing combo. I'll give him that. I was going up against the concierge... Conjunctivius, so it would be a disaster. I mean, despite the fact that... Alright, fine, we'll do that then. Despite the fact that the weapon hits in such a huge range... I think that the speed of that boss would just end up with me getting Oh my god. Again, I'm gonna give props to these enemies for being... You know what? Whatever. I got the shield on. These enemies have been pretty good about hitting me so far. It's just that's why I took Dead Inside and all that. One shot. And I rolled through too. And then I got punched anyway. It's that mushroom parent thing where it's like all it takes is one hit and you're not going to be in a good position. I'm not surprised at all they're doing more Dark Souls references. Yeah, I mean, Motion Twin has been very, very open about the comparison to Dark Souls for this series for very long. I mean, I've even gone to bat to them for that because of the whole like weightiness of the weapons and the way the parries work, and you know, you got your Estus flasks, etc. I still think there's a lot of comparisons to be made, even though, of course, I think especially at this point, Dead Cells is very much its own game. All right. Man. Yeah, I do think that... Oh boy. Get me out of here, baby. Done. I do think that the DLC does seem like it's going to be very much friendly to like a lot of ranged builds, especially stuff like a very powerful... Come on now. A very powerful like magic missiles build, for example, but survival is going to have a much harder time overall, as you can already see is happening. Of course, Dead Inside. I said that I was going to be taking Dead Inside explicitly because I knew that I was going to require this extra health and these extra malaise slots. They will not go to waste. All right. I do also, you know, I gotta say, I am really enjoying how this weapon, you can see even how I've been doing it so far, that I am kind of like picking and choosing if I'm going to go with... Nah, I already saw this one. I am kind of like picking and choosing if I am going to go with the like big... The left Scythe Claw or the right Scythe Claw. If I want like a fast overhead hit or if I want a big boy big hit. Which is something that you don't really get in a whole lot of weapons. I mean, I've never really been somebody to try and build like a double main hander. I always say that your second weapon should be... Ooh. Your second weapon should be something that supports your build rather than just an alternate way to attack. But I am liking how this one is working, at least for the time being. I mean, of course, I was doing very well at the very start, and then it kind of tapered off quite a bit. However, it's like all I need to do is just... Didn't mean to jump up on that and thought I was going to get chomped there. Oh, come on. Well, here. This is why I have that. And I... You know, as much as I do want to keep the ice armor, and I do think the ice armor has prevented me from taking a whole lot of damage, I would rather have some way of instantly taking out an enemy just with a button press, rather than a little bit more defense. I think that's going to be especially helpful as I get to cursing myself in about 5 seconds. As you do. I could actually just re-roll this, try to get that 100%. And hey, it does have its own defense, just having the shield alone. I almost never really use that affix for anything, but hey, maybe this will be a first. I don't know. Oh, and if you're wondering, this outfit is based on the boss that you get this weapon from. I thought it was just fitting in the style here. Well, yeah, that's not happening. No, those sides are pretty much locked in place. Any sort of main hand is going to be completely useless to me over the course of this run. Unfortunately, almost got me there. Okay, fine, we'll just do this then. That works for me too. Told you that I'd have a little bit of like lockdown for... And that I'd have a little bit of lockdown for maybe more troublesome enemies. Oh, I'm just very worried, because again, slow weapon. Alright. Malaise is going down. Still able to one-shot a decent amount of dudes. Yeah, it's looking okay. I mean, curses are always something where I get killed very, very quickly in 4 or 5 cell mode just because they can be... All it takes is one hit. All it takes is one hit, and this is a weapon where I think more than usual, you do want to kind of plan to be hit a little bit. That whole interrupts... As soon as I'm able to, like, have a few slots of... Oh, boy. Yeah. I knew just getting out of there was going to be the better option. Are you kidding me? Here, just punch something. Anything. I just need to get rid of that. Yeah, as soon as I'm able to get, like, a little bit later on, I have more potion charges, I have more... I can't believe I dodged that. Oh my god. How'd that even happen? But anyway, as soon as I have a few more potion charges, as soon as I have, like, a little... as soon as I'm down a little bit more malaise, I might end up just choosing to tank a few more hits, just to be able to really exploit constantly attacking with the weapon rather than really picking and choosing my fights, or just even picking and choosing the... Can't believe you hit me there. Even just picking and choosing, like, the opportunities that I actually have to swing this weapon. Because as you can see, it's like, you can't always use this... Sure. Whatever. You can't always use this thing. I mean, I think that one of the best combos that you can do in 5-cell mode is just having an enemy teleport directly into you as you're already queuing up swinging the axe. Something like the Concierge has a similar thing, where what you can do is, you know, like when you're jumping over him or something, then that's when you, you know what, get taken out by that. You know, like when you're jumping over him, that's when you start to queue up an attack. I was using that a lot when I was getting the... Ooh, I do kind of think I want this. Yeah, for the 100% on poison, really. Yeah, when you're like jumping over the shockwave attack from the Concierge, what you can do is you can start queuing up like your heavy crossbow, and then get a great hit from that before he's even able to start reacting with another attack. That's true for a lot of enemies here. All I gotta do is just start it up and wait for him to walk right into your blade. Why you hitting yourself, I like to say. They can't answer because there's some sort of undead monster that I don't think can speak. At least I'm fairly certain that... I guess I could possibly speak, but I'm kind of a special undead monster. I also lack, you know, the vocal cords and mouth to do so. Do not want to get hit while I am... Oh my god! It was the rolling off the side there, of all things, is what got me. If he didn't roll off the side, I would have been totally fine. Alright, the shop, yeah, that's about halfway through this area. Man, I am still mad about that. I cannot believe that I died to not even one of the new enemies, not even in the new biome, but to a regular enemy who just happened to get one very lucky shot out on me. I mean, I guess it just goes to show you, don't be risky with this weapon. It's powerful, but it also can do you dirty, right at the same time that it is just magnificent in the amount of damage that it is dealing. For example, still one-shotting enemies. I didn't even get the... This is still the very first version of the Scythe Claw that I've gotten, and it is still able to output this much DPS. And this time, instead of going for a... whoops, hit the wrong button there. And this time, instead of going for a very... you know what, I will actually take that, just for right now. This time, instead of going for a very, like, powerful build, I decided to go for a little bit more defensive, because I do think just any ability to get a freeze off on enemies is going to save my bacon a little bit more often than the giant punching somebody. As much as I'm loath to admit it, because I do like the giant punching dudes. As anybody that has watched my streams knows quite well. However, yeah, what I do need to do is switch out something for a better secondary item that's not the... It's not the oil grenade. That's not really doing me any good right now. It was just something that I was mostly carrying around for stats right now. Anywho, Morass of the Banished. And if I thought that it was getting pretty bad before, oh boy, oh boy. Pray for me here. That's all I'm going to say. I do think that right now, best idea is probably going to be to switch out for... to not... switch out. To not end up taking the usual alienation acceptance combo, but instead go for necromancy. Because necromancy is still going to be a malaise heal as soon as I finish up any boss, but it's also going to be a regular heal a lot more consistently than trying to eat food. Plus, I would like to just have my food kept clean for a little while. I don't want to get too cursed over the course of this run. Having one very concentrated curse, I can deal with that. Okay, yeah, I thought so. No, I always forget that he kicks behind. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to be beating up your mom soon enough. And one more. One more. Crusher. It's funny because, you know, Crusher is usually one of those items that you think of being so powerful when you actually get a hit off. Pales in comparison to this. Okay. This is definitely going to be a left scythe worthy area 99% of the time because I need fast and I need furious. Tokyo Drift. I don't need to... I'm gonna get hit so much by these guys. Well, if I have to blow a potion charge here, I have been told that there is apparently a store, and I can afford a food shop, and I can afford at least one for right now. I hate these things so much. All right, this is definitely a good... Yeah, there you go. Again, still an early version. I got hit anyway. Still an early version of that, and sure, just for the stats, I guess. I kind of like to keep the fire synergy, but hey, this ain't the brutal update. Fire synergy isn't worth that much right now. Oh, look at that guy. He's thinking about it. Oh well. That said, I will get a heal. I will hopefully be able to get a potion charge, and I'll just kind of tank my way through this. Because like I was saying, I do think that this boss coming up here is not going to be too terrible. Gotta get the combo on some of these guys. Clearly, it's not working out too well if I don't. Also, one of the things that I didn't point out when I was doing the initial stream of this is apparently each one of these guys explodes into green chunks as opposed to the usual... Whoa, that's a lot of dudes. As opposed to the usual more fleshy chunks, because I guess they are that poisoned and, like... They're the banished. They are the people that were... Oh my god, that was so close. That were kicked out of the island, exiled from the island for being extremely diseased up. Now worshipping a mysterious new god that you might find soon enough. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. All right. It's the one with the big scythe hands. Oh boy. And you know, the fun thing is that even if you do manage to get a invisibility necklace, it is not going to do you any good here because of the amount of these ugly diseased worms. Sickly worms? Weaver worms? Oh, they've gone through so many name changes, like everything in this game. It's frustrating. Yeah, it seems like as long as you just kind of are running, you're not in too much danger of getting caught by those guys. But as soon as there's other enemies around you, for example, maybe some guys who have proclivities to using a type of blowgun, for example, that's when things can go very bad very quickly. Yeah, but aside from that, it's just like they just rush you down. Oh, at least these guys go down with one hit of the claw, the left claw, but that's still sometimes a little bit difficult to do because their AI is programmed to immediately jump to the ledge above you. Oh, wait, that was actually, like, noticeably cringed after I saw that because I really thought I was going to be taking one big hit to the face there. Hell yeah, dude. I'm just glad that they didn't decide to go with the lore bit and make every single piece of food that you find in this area all Malaysed up, because it would work. It would fit. I'm just saying that I would also be very sad. Look, I love me some lore. You know me. I am one of the few people that will, like, actually read through all lore in a game and everything. But there are sometimes where I would rather just have it be that the gameplay concessions come first. And got hit by that anyway. Ridiculous. And lore comes second. Okay, you know what? I got this for good reason after all. Don't even. I'm so tired of you guys. I think I even actually did take out the slasher there too. Oh, I'll say this. The new areas that they've introduced are far less like promenade and rampart and far more on the level of the sewers in the way that they're huge, expansive, and with some pretty rough enemies to deal with. So I want to say right now, I don't think that it's like the traditional route, as I like to call it, going through the ossuary, going through the promenade and everything, still very much intact. However, I mean, you know what I would like? One of the reasons that I started to do the giant a lot more was because you got a nice shortcut through stuff. I mean, motion twin, you know, maybe, you know, I'm just throwing that out there. What do I mean by that? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, unfortunately, as I spent far too long trying to figure out during the stream, you cannot hit enemies through walls here, which is unfortunate because I think that would be, it wouldn't make any sense, but I would like it. I mean, one of the only good points that I said back when I was doing the magnetic grenade showcase. I hate these things so much. The magnetic grenade showcase was the fact that it could hit enemies through walls. Of course, now they've introduced the idea that it will also reflect projectiles and everything, which makes it a lot more usable in my opinion, but it is still, I don't know, something I'd like to see a few other weapons share. Just me. Maybe I'm the only sort of person that's like trying to get usage out of that specific of a mechanic, but also what did I say about like the infantry grenade episode? It explodes. Oh, hour and a half left that I gotta talk about? Yeah. So it seems like the best way to do this is just run away from this guy, and I still got hit anyway, but this is potion time, baby. Much like it's pizza time in the TMNT arcade games, it is potion time in Dead Cells. Okay, what are we looking at right now? Only 13? Huh. Thought I gotta re-roll that Crusher. And also see if I can't get a better amulet, but, you know, when you're not looking for a better amulet. Basically when you have an invisibility one, or you have like one of those ones that's 4 of your main stat, when the stars align to give you such a thing. Oh, but it's a glorious day when it happens. I mean, even that 40 stat tactics run that I had recently only had a 3 tactics. Only had a 3 tactics necklace by the end of it. Not great, but, you know, also manageable. Not only do I have a little bit of, provided that there is in fact a food shop out here, and I'm not getting fooled by chat members as they love to do, that I should be able to also maybe afford like a cough syrup too, to make sure that I'm not, oh my god, there's 3 of them. To make sure that I'm not, oh right, I forgot. Of course I did. Well, let's just kind of find an area. Oh god, this is what did me in during the stream too. God, maybe I just don't want to. Nah, I can't leave stats on the table. Who knows, maybe there could be like an amazing skill in there. That's all I need. It's not bad, but you know, not quite what I'm looking for. And I got 15 to take care of too. But I was also a little bit low on stats. I usually like having about 20 here if I can possibly manage it. Of course. Oh my god. Don't even. Don't even. Oh, I did very early on get a reveal invisible enemies necklace, and I was seriously considering just taking it for this. Oh my god. I hate this a lot. Maybe I should just look around for enemies other than this area right here, because those blowgunners are gonna ruin my day, as they have so many times since this came out earlier this morning. I don't think I got anything, do I? I've been very... Oh, no, there are some cell doors. There are some cell doors. Those might have some enemies that I'm interested in. Oh, let's just wait until the ice grenade comes back up. But I do think that's a better option than some of the alternatives. So, yeah. This is a mess. This is an absolute, utter, and terrible mess. But, you know, hey, we're playing Dead Cells. What sort of Dead Cells run isn't a mess? You know? I don't like it. Anyway, I do see you there, so don't even. And I also see you here, so don't even. Am I going to say it a third time? Don't even. There you go. All right, come on. Like, two enemies left. I think that, like, the best option is going to be... Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, well... Not this, just like the most stress, maybe one of, if not the most stressful. Hell yeah. Well, actually, no, not that. One of, if not the most stressful curse chests that I've ever had to deal with. Because it's like, this is a very curse unfriendly place. It actually reminds me a lot of the Stilt Village back when there were bombers all over the place and, you know, like 3 different curse chests that you got in there. It has that same sort of energy to it. Okay, and big swing. I mean, even if enemies are invisible right now, I can kind of like giant swing and manage to take out a lot of dudes. It's just the blowgunners. Much like Dead Cells before them, which they're clearly a reference to Blighttown here. At least they don't do the poison. They could have easily done that. Motion to, it just probably would have taken like a button. Click ruin everybody's day when they come into the morass. When Motion Twin is just sick of this game, they're going to turn on the poison like that. Mark my words. Maybe make that for April Fool's Day or something. The really good update. All enemies do poison now. We've introduced toxin specifically for these characters. All right, well, hey, at least I think I'm kind of coming up to the end here. And I guess this is a consistent area. I've seen it every single time I've come in here. The cellar, yeah. Which, I don't know, there's got to be like some sort of secret associated with it. But I do have all the items now and everything. Oh, and actually speaking of having a lot of items, I'm actually very close to getting 60 kills. Somehow. Don't ask me. Certainly wasn't it from anything I did. Cool. I was having people telling me in one of the previous episodes, like, you gotta try for the 60 items more. There's so many times that you've been like 1 or 2 away and you're just like, oh, whoop, took damage. Like, just, you know, I don't need items every single time, but if it's right there, I might as well. All right. Man, oh man. I at least think that, provided that the boss isn't way more unfriendly to this weapon than I thought it was, I should be... Yep, okay. I should be good against them. But, I mean, hey. Well, here. No melees. Full potion charges. Got the 60 kills. I could... No, there's no way I could possibly, even if I found a shop. And as of right now, I think that the only place that I could possibly go for that is to go downwards there. I mean, I don't think I'd be able to afford a potion charge anyway. I think you know, after the stress that this place has caused me... There, if you didn't see this one. Vaguely religious. A holy maternal figure. Based around eyeballs. Because, I mean, that's a pretty common theme in Dead Cells. There even used to be, like, flying eye enemies in the game. Never got introduced, but I think they eventually got turned into demons. There's also, like, the Conjunctivius. There's, actually, a lot of the enemies that I'm thinking of now were actually dummied out. Huh. I don't know what to make of that. Nest. Oh, I would love it. I'd love it, but no. Unfortunately, that's just not the run. Because in some of the practice that I've had here, it does seem like it's very much plausible to get a lot of... Here, can I get like a... some kind of... That's... Okay, that's better. I'll take it, I guess. It is plausible to get a lot of parries off this boss. Also helps keep the ticks at bay, which I think I can see why you would want that. Now, time to go fight like the final boss or something, given how this looks. All right. Ooh, did get hit there, but I was actually able to rally up the health before... I'm still trying to figure out, like, what the best way to deal with this attack is. I'll get it eventually. Oh, man, actually managed to get a... Not bad, not bad. I actually managed to get a... interrupt there. Interrupt, which is what I was trying to think of. But, like, yeah, as I was expecting, this is... Wow. Great attacks, by the way. Oh, yeah, of course. Should have been a little bit more careful there, but come on. Look at that. I knew it. I knew this was going to be a downright amazing weapon against bosses, which is a rarity in this game. And also, nice. I already got one of those. There's the second one. Yeah, it's like I knew this was going to be a downright amazing item against bosses, and I'm really happy to see that that is, in fact, the case. I think I gotta keep the ice grenade as much as I would love to. As much as I would really love to, like, switch it out for something like Swarm. It's appropriate, given the given the DLC. And yeah, no way I was getting a perfect fight there. I had resigned myself to that fate long ago. Hey, I did it. Okay. I should have a little bit easier. I guess I might as well go to the graveyard. Hey, if you get the chance to go to the graveyard, you might as well. And, oof. The problem is that the next boss coming up is either the giant, and melee weapons when it comes to the giant are never very good. Or melee, not melee weapons, but melee survival weapons are never very good. And ones that are even extra slow like this. I mean, even though I can get that good hit above my head, unless I'm, like, going back and forth with this. If you're going for a survival run up against the giant, you'll want a shield. And the other option, though, is the Timekeeper, which is maybe equally as unappetizing because speedy... she's very well countered by a shield, and speedy weapons do better than slow weapons. Even though she likes using a slow weapon, she's very good at using it speedily. I assume there's some sort of time tricks happening with that. So, I guess I'm just gonna have to try to get the best out of the most out of my ice grenade, and maybe hope that one of the upcoming curse chests that I got is gonna be some sort of fast secondary weapon, or it might also be just worth it to try to find like a bomb, or actually try to. Are you kidding me? Stupid slow weapons. Or maybe actually try to get some, like, Giant's Fist, powerful grenade. Just something that can do a little bit of burst. Because, as you know, ice wears out quickly. Oh no, the defender's still there. That could have turned out much worse. I was actually kind of like expecting you guys to, you know, do anything. Ah! I mean, I'll say this. Having a really high-quality, survival-based boss-killing weapon is just fantastic alone. Knowing that I can easily just slam down a boss that I'm very unfamiliar with little issue it's a good feeling knowing that I have this open for an option. However, going up against regular enemies is rough right now. It's like I want to stop, drop, shut them down, and open up shop. That's how hard the rough riding is. That was a very weird poll, but I just couldn't think of anything else to say right there. So please, just give me one Rough Riders anthem per video, and I'll make sure that you can drift off to dreamland with my dulcet tones. Because I know that's what you're doing. I'm going to incept you one of these days. You just wait. I don't know if that's how incepting works. I never saw that movie. Anyway, disable ad block. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay, enough of that. Yeah, I'm already probably going to be... Well, I mean, I've already got enough advantages by having a big new update for the game. I don't really need to go full on YouTuber yet. Soon enough. You just wait until I got the... Oh, God. Just wait until I got the webcam. Sub alerts. Everything like that. Big animations that play every couple seconds. I already do a lot of editing. I already do a lot of post-commentary. It's just a matter of time. Okay, please get out of here. I mean, sure, the big hit is nice, but you gotta actually kill the core of this enemy to get rid of those dangerous electrical whips around there. I mean, you know, it's like, yeah, I think that this is definitely a, like, a giant killer class weapon. It's just the unfortunate thing is that it is, you know, double the slot that it requires to use, which is... Oh, I kind of like this. It's too bad I'm not using brutality. It's just like, yeah, it does use 2 slots, so that's... It's not... You can't get, like, some of the great benefits from using a shield like you would with Giant Killer, and that does make a big difference. That is an important thing when it comes to doing a good survival run. Shields, as much as they can be risky to use, are incredible in a lot of circumstances. Whether it's, you know, getting a very... Whoa, now! Whether it's getting a very powerful type of, like, punishment, or... bloodthirsty shield for, like, a huge amount of AoE, or just getting something like a rampart for, you know, using the defensive options that you get from it as much as possible. Even grabbing stuff like the rare time that you can get a lot of usage out of the cudgel just to get some sort of stunning there. Spike shield, parry shield, so many good ones. Unfortunately, just not usable with this. This is also, you know, speaking of brutality, one of the few, I think one of the only melee weapons that scales with survival and nothing else. They tried... Are you kidding me? That's how I got hit there? Ridiculous. I mean, I'm not surprised, you know, given the slowness of the weapon, but still. Yeah, they did try for one update to make it so that all survival melee weapons were survival only, and, you know, I was okay with that. It's like, if you're gonna use a survival scaling item, you should use survival. Survival has so many great options, even in just necromancy alone. It's funny how far the mutation has come to... Oh, no, I got grabbed. Ooh, that's bad. It's funny how far the mutation has come in my mind, where it used to be not scaling with a percentage, but just like a flat rate. Not, you know, healing you from malaise at all. And now it's just an essential part to almost any survival run to be taking that thing. It's that good. But of course, even aside from that, like, extended healing's pretty great because it does so much more healing compared to your average. Well, potion charge, really. All right. That would have been actually a good time to get the alienation acceptance combo usage, but didn't quite happen like that. Now did it? I made my bed and I'm sleeping in it. Don't worry. I'm not going to say it was the best decision, but I'm going to say it's the decision that I'm going to stand by. Anyway, we got the curse chest over here because do I want to? No. But as soon... Actually, really what I want to do... I was just going to grab it right now, but no, I'm going to grab it before I go into the sepulcher, I'm thinking, because... Yeah, this is about a sepulcher. This is a sepulcher-worthy point in time. And I'm also not going to worry about taking a potion charge, but I am going to grab you. That didn't do as much as I was hoping. Oh well. Don't worry. Getting cursed will take care of the rest of it. Not that... Oh, that wasn't a critical. I did the swing with the other hit. I guess it actually has to connect in one way or another. Not gonna get me. Nobody gonna break my stride. Oh, well. Stride broken. Everybody go home. Stride broken. Okay, well, I'm sure probably a lot of people bailed out after, you know, you saw the new content. It was a pretty good kill, too, if I do say myself. First kill that I got on 5-cell mode against the Mama Tick, by the way. Which is... I'm pretty satisfied with how that went. This is a very powerful weapon for that. I did a couple practice, but, you know, never actually managed to seal the deal. Mostly because I was trying to really focus on the dodging game rather than attempting to, you know, beat the boss. I mean, if you blitz down the boss, especially with a very powerful weapon like this, it's not really too big of a deal. I mean, that's true for, like, Giant Killer. That's true for, like, a very powerful tactics-based run. All that sort of stuff. But still. Is this another curse chest? No. I wouldn't be so lucky. Although luck, maybe not the word you'd use. Also, you know, I didn't even make any sort of connection on this. We are looking at the blue and orange. The classic... complementary colors on both of these sides. I didn't even make that connection until right now. Should have been red and green. And it can be like a, you know, it's blood and bile. Gross, huh? Anyway. You can see that it's like we're getting into the late episode doldrums. I was thinking about maybe making this episode, since this might be one seen by a lot more people compared to most because the weapon's so popular. Like maybe talk a lot more about Dead Inside is going to make it so I can't even heal from that. I was considering it, even though I might take the malaise. But no, Dead Inside has kind of nixed that plan. Yeah, talk a little bit about, like, general strategy for the thank you. General strategy for the game, but, you know what. We'll save that for one of the later runs, I'm sure. I'm planning to try to do a little bit more updating than usual here. I'm not going to be able to afford anything, but what would I be able to afford? Oh, that's some good stuff. Yeah, 26,000. I mean, I guess it's not too much different. Oh, well. Yep, okay, so it's just the entrance to the cavern. I can go back, maybe grab a little bit more cash money with the Architect's Key. Do I even care all that much? It's pretty minor in the grand scheme of things. I do care about maybe going into the next area to fight enemies, because they're going to be at least slightly friendlier than the dudes here. With curses, though. That's... Hey, you know what? You know what? Yeah. Sure, this didn't work out well last time. Again, I can't believe the thing that I died to. I was like, oh, I'm betting I'm going to have to go post-commentary and everything. And yet, the thing that I died to was an enemy that's been in the game since, what, the Darkness update? Actually, it's been in the game even longer than that. The Lacerator, formerly known as the Spinner, formerly known as the Boogeyman, formerly known as the Slasher. Yeah, it used to be called the Slasher. I don't know, ask Motion Twin. And yet, that's the thing that did me in. Not the new content. It's like, even with a curse. It was just that, it was not even just that, it was the character that, it was the character kind of doing a little bit unexpected type of movement compared to the usual fare you see. It's ridiculous. Embarrassing, downright. Or downright embarrassing is normally how you would say that, but I decided to go Yoda there for a second, you know, to switch it up. Yeah. Definitely gotta watch out, because usually I'm just worried about knife throwers in this area. This time I should probably be cautious of everything, purely because I, you know, am working with a slow weapon, and that can mean like enemies that I normally don't think of being as all that deadly, being much deadlier than usual. So I'm just gonna make sure that I have big berth to hit these guys with before I really start swinging away. Also, I do think that I might actually be doing a little bit of extra damage from the fall damage after these enemies get launched up in the air that high, which is not something you usually think of like anything except for what the Spartan's handle's doing. That's silly. Well, here I might be able to afford some new upgrades if I possibly can, and I would love to if that were the case. Here, first off, I was thinking of more for like an upgrade for the ice grenade, but let's be honest, I really should be getting an upgrade for the scythe. As good as they're doing, you gotta remember, this is still the starting version of the scythe. Left Scythe Claw, less Scythe Thaw, I guess is what I was going to say. 4 right now. 4. I could be getting up to like 10, I think, if I really found like a one from an elite. But yeah, that's worried about knife throwers. No, it looks like we're good. Okay. But yeah, and get to that already. Really what I'd like to do too is maybe get rid of the curse, because yeah. Also, should have switched out alienation for something else so that I wasn't going to take the full amount of curse with the next thing. Oh, I'm very worried. Very stressed out right now. But you know, hey, that's dead cells for you. If you ain't stressed, you ain't paying attention. That's what I like to say. Oh, good. I didn't realize I killed 2 enemies there. I'll take it though. All right. Oh well, with the Giant's help, I'm doing just fine as far as everything, actually. Malaise is looking good. Still full potion charges. Nah, I'm pretty happy with how this run is going right now. I was really... the DPS. Again, a starting version of this weapon. Now, I'm not very familiar with how it's used. It's not something that's been in the game for a long time. I'm going through a new area, and I'm still currently in the Sepulchre. Full health, full potion charges. 3 points of malaise, but all things considered, that's pretty good. It's like, I guess if I was going to say anything right now, highly recommend this weapon. Like, man, it is as good as everybody was hoping it was going to be. I gotta say, I'm actually, like, very happy about that in a lot of ways. Okay, make sure that I'm not getting hit by the... Oh, did I... Wow, I took him out that fast, eh? Cool. I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed. Anyway, I probably should have went for the curse chest before starting to beat up some easy enemies, but, you know, hindsight is 20/20, as is the year. 3rd time I think I've said that now. Should probably stop. Yep, and yep, there we go. I'll leave that for future consumption. I didn't take alienation, or I didn't take acceptance, so I won't get cursed eating it, but I'm also going to get rid of the... Good. I'm also going to get rid of all the stuff that I got right now, all the points of malaise, just by beating up enemies. And it's going pretty well so far. Yep, I knew that I wanted to go with 2 of the big overhead swings there. Because even though I didn't see them, I could feel the presence of... Sure. The bats up there. They are... Okay, I'll take it. Because this should be last curse of the game. Yeah, all right. Last curse, provided that something doesn't go very wrong or right. Allegedly, there's supposed to be curse chests in the castle, but I haven't seen them yet. All right. Currently looking at 24 points of survival. I should probably be able to get at least 1... Come on now. Probably should be able to get at least like 1 more minimum. Yeah, looking pretty good. Hey, 60 kills too. I hope that there is a scythe coming up before the boss. So that would just... that would be the cherry on the cake. Of course, you know, I've already been so blessed. Why do I need anything else? I got a nice colorless giant whistle. That is giant whistle 8. Yeah, no, that's not bad at all. I guess I'm just saying right now, I am very happy with how this run has gone. I even couched expectations at the very beginning, and yet it's still going fantastically, and I do think that's in part from the items that I've gotten, and that's in part from just the showcase that I'm currently doing right now. Okay, yeah, I already got the 60... look, I already got the 60 kills. I already got... I would actually kind of like that. I already got the 60 kills. I already got the curse chests. We'll be fine. I don't need... I have necromancy backing me up here. Should be able to take out these things easy as pie. There you go. This is also definitely the sort of item that I should probably be using the homunculus rune. I mean, I think during the course of the stream, the initial look that I did at the DLC, I thought, oh, I should probably be using the head to, like, lock down enemies or take down more mobile enemies, and really, I've been neglecting that rune for so long. I feel bad, but also, it's working out okay. I knew I was going to get hit there, too. That's just embarrassing. Well, I do have one piece of clean food left, but also... I do have a lot more area to go through right now. Let's wait, is what I'm saying, before I start to take even more damage. Which is exactly what I'm doing, by the way. Trust me, it's an important part of gameplay. You need to get very reckless in the second half of a run, just so that you can come back and keep the tension. You don't want people to get too complacent. You understand? Okay, come on. I mean, I keep saying, it's like, don't get too overconfident. And then I'm immediately getting a little bit too overconfident, feeling a little bit too good about myself. No. Gotta rein that in. Got to really, make sure that I'm exercising even the slightest bit of caution. That's all you need. Just the slightest bit. 28, looking good. And then I should be able to ride this beautiful run to the end with no problem. Anything else I'm looking at here? I could go check out the shop and everything, but... No, I'm going to go check out the shop. I have 80,000 gold right now. I can probably go and at least get an upgrade for my current weapon. And if I can't, I can go around to each one of the other areas, or each one of the other cell doors that I've kind of been neglecting, and grab enough money to make that happen. And that's the end of that story. Alright, come on. You know what I want. It's a weapon shop. There's literally only one thing I can use in a weapon shop, and you didn't give it to me. Ah, well. I wasn't going to grab the... I just wanted to see. Maybe it could have been something really amazing. I don't know, poison synergy? Something like that? But as it is, I'm just going to... let's book it out of here. Because, do still have the castle to go and everything, and that can be its own trial, can't it? I mean, as well as the 5-cell area alone, but, hey, as always with these runs, I'm just looking to, it's nothing, too. I'm just looking to beat it. To beat, like, the regular game. Anything that happens after that point, all gravy. It's still the most basic version of it. I mean, it's still great, but it is the most basic version of it, as you know. Okay, gonna take you, necromancy, and then, I don't know, maybe something, I mean, disengagement could be great. Masochist could, no necromancy. Instinct might be, no, I'm killing enemies too fast to even get a lot of usage out of it. While slowed down, it's really not much. I mean, I'm currently getting, what, 165,000 on my right Scythe Claw if I'm getting criticals. So, yeah, the the 1393 I'm getting is not the most amazing. Man, I don't even know what to take right now. I suppose give me gastronomy? It's really not that much, though. Extended healing. How about that? You know, it's extra DPS. It's potentially some malaise cure. I feel like the chance on getting that malaise cure is never good enough for me to actually want to use it, but it's probably something that I can get some real usage out of it. Get that immediate hit there. Okay, come on. Ooh, yeah, the slow hits on this weapon are doing me dirty. Should go without saying. Of course. Well, when I do get the criticals, they're pretty great. Yeah, the mobility, like I said, this is still the better option of the two bosses that I could be fighting, but oof. Are you kidding me? Well, hey, again, this is why I like having that sort of instant cast type of thing that you get from having a Giant's Whistle. In fact, I might just... Or, no, this should do it. Or not. Just go down. That's fine, that's fine. Of the remaining bosses, that was going to be the hardest one regardless. And I'm not happy about getting that huge amount of malaise in that fight, but I'll accept it. I'll accept that over, like, getting outright killed in the giant fight, which I think is what would have happened. All right. One more left to go. 34 health, but hey, that's why I got Necromancy. 3 potion charges, still looking okay. No, I think I should, at minimum, be able to beat the Hand of the King. And then, like, because the Hand of the King is much slower, he's not running all over the arena. No, it should be fine. Bam, and let's go. Do still want to exercise some caution. These enemies can be, if they so choose, pretty quick. Pretty speedy dudes. And that's going to be a problem. Especially something like the Guardian Knights, where if you don't have a shield against these guys, they will kill you. Much like the way that Spinner did earlier. In fact, it might be a little bit better to... Oh, I didn't even think about demons. Demons might not be too terrible, though, because of the upswing. As long as I stay kind of close to them and make sure I'm just mashing on the left scythe, I'm probably going to be okay. These guys, though, I'm also not a big fan of, so Giant's going to take care of them. Royal Guards are scary. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, it is interesting to see that it's like the critical on the Scythe Claws, even though they're the most basic version of it, are doing more than the Giant's Whistle right now. If I can get that critical off, and it's not always possible, but if you can... Boy, oh boy, that is just some downright magical damage. So I gotta say, it's like, yeah, getting into the old kind of final review that I like to do when it comes to... Well, come on now. Doesn't matter, though. Getting into the old final review that I kind of like doing when it comes to the showcase runs. I want to say that it's a good weapon. Ooh, is it a rough one to use? If you can use it, though, oh my god, it is so powerful. But the fact that it is so slow and does so poorly against so many types of enemies, it's like you want to either have something along the lines of ice to really back you up with it, or, you know, cannot be interrupted by enemy attacks, or just, you know, something that is going to be an instant cast, whether it is the Giant's Whistle, the Powerful Grenade, maybe even the newly introduced Mushroom Boy. Those would all be good choices just for being able to kind of buff out the shortcomings of this weapon, despite the fact that it could not be any longer. This is definitely the largest melee weapon by far. No problem at all. Maybe something like the only comparison I'm thinking is like something like the War Scythe. You know what? Just get out of here, you. Almost up to full health now. Haven't even gotten in one of the doors. God, I hope I get at least one. There we go. God, I hope I can get at least one. Oh, nice. Weapon shop before I leave this place, because I'm getting a little bit worried that I'm going to be using. Look, I don't want to go back to the old days of level 1 item only runs like I did back in the first season of Dead Cells, back when scaling was out of control and just doesn't matter, and you were able to deal ungodly amounts of damage, at least relative to the enemies as they existed. Also, thank you for answering my plea. Thank you so much for playing my game. All right, there's options here. Kind of thinking like the frozen damage, but also I think I'd rather have the critical plus. That's going to be a more consistent thing. Launches a grenade, emit toxic cloud when dead. I guess I'll take emit toxic cloud when dead. I'll have to admit that it emits a toxic cloud when dead. Now, I bought it, but I didn't pick it up. Okay, that could have been embarrassing. Kind of weird that it does that, because, you know, usually you have to, like, slot it into something. Instead there, it, you know, you buy it, and then you just kind of spit the scythe on the ground. Which, yeah. And I noticed as I was walking away that it's like, wait a second. That one had an X in the level number. I should probably not walk away from this. Good. Thank you, Giant. That is who I wanted you to hit. So yeah, don't get the frozen synergy, but you know, frozen synergy only lasts for one hit before you break them out of the freeze. Got any freeze? I just said that out of freaking out, but you know, ignore it. You know what? Ignore that entire thing that I just did there. All right. Oh, yeah, that works too. It does have the extra damage on frozen from the Giant's Whistle. I didn't even realize that. This is an interesting survival run. I'll say that. Okay, I really rolled the bones there by going for that second hit, because I was thinking if that does not hit all three of those enemies before they hit me, I'm gonna be in some real trouble. Thankfully it did, so not a problem. All right, 28 still on survival. Are you kidding me? You know what? You're gonna get punched. Punch him. There. Look, Giant, I ain't paying you to not punch guys. In fact, I'm explicitly paying you to punch guys. Get out of here, you. And done. And done. But for real this time. Okay. I'm going to keep my cooldown on the whistle for this right now. Because that's always kind of a questionable fight if you're working with a melee weapon, so I'd rather be safe than sorry. Get one big punch, especially given how much is being buffed up, and not worry too much about anything else going on. And I'm pretty much ready to mosey on out of here if the game's going to give me the chance. I mean, if the game gives me more stats, I could be... count it. I could be convinced to stick around for longer, but I'd also just kind of like to leave before anything very bad happens. I don't know how the next fight is going to go. I think it's going to be fine, but I'm also not going to... I also want to make sure I'm prepared if it's not, basically. Yeah, okay. Nothing new here. Nope. I guess maybe I'll just do like a quick look around here, because there's unlikely to be any enemies, and Explorer's Instinct could proc, and it did, and we're good. Do I even care? Oh, actually, I do care a lot about getting an extra scroll fragment, because I'm right at that Right at the precipice of getting another item. No. Okay. But now that I know where I'm going, shouldn't be too big of a deal to finish up this episode unless... Okay, unless that guy has anything to say about it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now then. I didn't get hit there? No, I did get hit there. Lost my kill streak. Oh well. Look, as long as I don't take too... I mean, even if I do take too many hits in the next area, I will be able to get a pretty hefty malaise heal regardless. And I still do have a lot of potion charges, all things considered. I mean, given how it was going earlier with how I was going through the... Oh, actually, yeah, please. Given how I was going earlier when I was going through the new areas, I'm doing a lot better. I'm not gonna mince words on that. Yep, 31. Finally get an upgrade. Get some poison, but it's pretty unlikely that I'm gonna be able to actually... I guess maybe I could get one of the enemies that I kill in one of the in-between phases to maybe do a little bit of poison damage, but that's something I can't really expect to happen. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, come on. I'd like to try this out against the final boss, but we'll kind of see what happens when I get there. I could be in a very bad position at the end of this, for all I know. As long as I'm careful, though. Boy, that damage is amazing. Oh, dang, can't be interrupted. No perfect fight, but that went pretty well, all things considered. Are you kidding me? I mean, I will take that, but I'm mad about it anyway. Can I get him? Can I get a... No, not quite. Of course. Uh-oh. I think I'll actually, like... Yeah. Oh! Oh, no! Come on! Are you kidding me? I wanted to go for the... You know what? Extended healing. Extended healing done me dirty. I can say with relative certainty that it is easier going up against the giant, but I did still lose my YOLO mutation, so take that as you will. Alright, round 2. I'm feeling a little bit better this time. Took an easier route in general, and didn't take quite an hour and a half to get here, so I guess I'm feeling good on that point, if nothing else. Also did manage to get some poison synergy, too, which is a rare occurrence. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I think that if you can actually... Oh, it's very close, but not quite. You can actually get the criticals. The damage is amazing, but... very hard to do on a lot of boss fights. Even the concierge, I actually didn't have as easy of a time as I thought that I was going to. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a... Unless... No, not quite. In fact, he actually didn't even get hit there. What? What was that? Yeah, of course. Well, as long as I don't get hit by it this time, I should be totally fine. Ooh. Well, that was a little bit close, but 420,000... I think that was 420,000 or 42,000 damage does make me feel at least a little bit better coming up in the next area. Even one mutation slot down, Necromancy and Dead Inside is really all you need to have a good survival run going on. So much extra health and so much extra healing potential. So yeah, I'm going to say this right now, doing another run, the gilding has not come off of this lily just yet. This weapon is still quite good. It is Very hard to use, though. That's the only thing I can really say about it. You do have to have a certain level of, I don't know, like, understanding of every single enemy's attacks to make sure that you're not getting hit by this, or just the willingness to take it very slowly, especially if you don't have a whole lot of health or anything. Now, hopefully with a... Oh, of course. With a ice armor, I should at least be a little bit nice. It should at least be a little bit nicer to take out these librarians when I'm coming up against them. Block one hit, freeze them in place. I mean, as it is, if I'm just encountering a single librarian, I should be able to just do the upswing and take them out, no problem at all. However, sometimes easier said than done. I mean, the strategy is solid, but the execution can sometimes be... Oh, that was a little bit weird. The execution can sometimes be a little bit rough to do, especially if I have multiple enemies around here. And that usually is when I tend to get hit the most by... Nothing. I mean, maybe I'll take vampirism if I get the chance. Tends to be when I get hit most by enemies like this. Basically, when I am surrounded by a bunch of other dudes, and the simple dodging becomes a lot more difficult when you also have a failed experiment and a slammer coming up on both sides. Alright, well, one key down already. I mean, the alien key, the most important one. So all I gotta do is just look around for the elevator key, and I am gonna try to rush out of here as fast as possible. If there's extra stats or anything, I'm not even gonna worry about it, because as it is, the Scythe Claw that I have synergizes with poison, gets an extra 40% damage. I don't even care all that much about getting another one. It's only going to be like a 250, actually I think it's 275 if I manage to find another one in here in a shop. And that's not that big of a deal. Yeah, see, this is perfect. If I can leave, I am not going to be sticking around here to try to comb the area for every little tidbit of extra health that I can possibly get. Alright, so I do think that I'm going right over here. Oh no. Good, the librarian didn't see me. Always an important, There. That actually does, not as bad as I thought they would be. Librarians especially are pretty fast, and they do float in the air like that, but the upswing that you get is pretty comprehensive when it comes to taking out flying enemies. It's definitely one of the things that you don't see very often when it comes to survival-based melee. Flying enemies especially, I mean, with the slow speed at which you're hitting, you can't really jump up in the air trying to... Oh, come on now. Can't really jump up in the air and try to hit them like you would in a lot of other cases with a melee weapon. Big boy, big swing, and not quite, but that. Ah, man. Well, these guys are getting some good dodges here. It's not going to save them in the end. Trust me on that. Let's at least get the... Yeah, perfect. I just wanted to get the... Uh-oh. Oh, no. Apparently, it's very difficult to actually try and get those slammers hit with this weapon. Note to self, really make sure that you got the... Really make sure that you got that ice armor up and ready to go when you're going to be fighting them, because that was... Yeah, it just seems like you're not going to be able to attack them fast enough to actually get your attack off. Are you kidding me? Jumped right in front of the slammer. I was just trying to get one real quick hit there. That would have been enough to take him out. Well, anyway. You know, I was talking about not worrying about getting extra stats, but I think they're all right here anyway. So, works out well for me. I'm sure I'm missing like a shop. Yeah, and it might be a shop that has like a food shop or something, but that's, come on. I mean, I might even be able to afford an extra potion charge if I really wanted to, but I'm going to have to be so much worse off than I am right now before I think, yeah, that's worthwhile. No, let's just get out of here and see if I can't have a real good boss fight. Because I do think, it's not going to be the easiest. Probably going to get hit a couple times, but I do think that this will work out pretty well against the final boss. Nope. same thing there. And same thing there, and... don't... you really gotta make sure... I'm actually just gonna take a potion charge right now. I'm gonna make sure that I am... And then I'm just gonna take extra caution when it comes to fighting slammers in the future. I think that's the only thing I can do. Or make sure that I have the ice armor up, of course. There and there. Just a little bit more. Yep, not even going to worry about it. In fact, I'm just going to walk right out here. Because if I get lucky... Yeah, that dude's just going to walk right off the edge. Perfect. Oh, wow, that's actually, like, not a bad get right at the end here. It's too bad that's not really what I'm looking for. I would much, much rather have a necklace to see if I can't get an extra point of survival right in the last couple minutes I'm in here. But like I said, not worrying about backtracking at this point. No. It's whatever. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I do have to fight 2 of these guys. And that actually worked out well. Knowing that I had the ice armor up, I knew that I would be fine. Oh, I kind of would like to go for that last little bit of ice armor, but I also know that it's very much not worth it. Not at all. I'm sure it probably is like an upgrade to whatever I got right now. I suppose this is ice armor 9. It's actually a pretty decently leveled one, all things considered, but still not worth it. Not worth it. Oh, and switch out. Do want to keep that inside, and I'll switch it out for, I don't know, let's say some sort of healing, or how about disengagement? Disengagement is always a pretty safe choice for getting a little bit of extra healing when it comes down to the wire, if it happens that way. All right, as long as I got ice armor up and ready to go, I'm feeling pretty good. The second that I lose that, though, if I get like the spin attack or something, it's all over. No, we actually went for the extra attack there. Not a big deal. No. Well, he did kind of clip me at the end there. If he's going fast enough, that's not that big of a deal. But, you know, it's not really a thing that you can expect. You got to do it like that otherwise. And then it works. Yeah, the damage is okay, but I'm going to tell you right now. It's like getting the actual attacks off is a little bit more... Yeah, it's like when he's stunned, this is actually working out great, but... Let's see if I can't get a little bit of freezing there. Nah. I was hoping at least to get like 2 hits, but... And I've learned my lesson enough not to stand next to him when he's going into this phase. One more, and... Yeah, of course. Like I said, the DPS is great, but... Can't always get what you want in terms of attack patterns. Oh, come on now. Yeah, it's too bad. I was thinking that it's like if I got enough damage, I could have been able to just like blast through each one of his phases. Didn't quite happen that way. Okay. Of course, unlike the librarians, you can't hit him when he's flying in the air. Can't be interrupted, baby. All right, this has got to be the final phase, right? Yeah, he's taking so little damage. Oh, 1 hit. Nice. Yeah, I'll take it. All right, I mean, yeah, great weapon, but, you know, it does have its drawbacks. Still, I'd probably take this for more runs than most survival-based melee weapons. I'll say that right now. This is definitely up there with the giant killer, in my mind.